why did you decide to leave the US?
So I have a different reason. I think because of my heritage, and my mom got me into traveling at such a young age. Like I thought people were born with the passport. I didn't know that you had to apply for it.
Hmm.
I had always just wanted to live in another country.
Mm,
I
gotcha.
never quite felt like I belonged in the US. Although I'm American, I'm proud to be American. I never felt like I belonged. And I don't know if it was growing up there with cerebral palsy. I don't know if like a part of my soul was being called elsewhere,
Hmm.
but I always felt more comfortable in another country than I did in the US.
Um, I can relate. I've always I've always felt very comfortable living abroad and spending lengthy times abroad. I've always just enjoyed it and have been lucky to experience a lot of that in my life. I don't know if you ever watch Andrew. He has the channel Nomad Capitalist. He has that slogan, "Go to where they
You're
treat you
treated
best."
best.
And it's
Yep.
such a great slogan because it when you travel abroad and you experience something different, like what you just said, you always felt better living abroad, being abroad.
And I forgot to mention this when we were talking about being disabled. I feel more human in Panama with my disability than I did in the US.
Can I ask you a quick favor? Adventure Freaks is growing, but over 80% of you watching right now aren't subscribed yet. If you love tips on affordable living and retiring abroad, hit that subscribe button. It's free and it really helps us grow. So today we are heading down to the beautiful country of Panama with my new friend Aisha Niang. Aisha, how are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
Good. It's so great to meet you. Did subscribe to your channel probably a year and a half ago. And
Really?
yes, and I love what you're doing. And you have such a special story. And you moved down to Panama how long ago now?
It was 3 years ago, but I had my permanent residency for 4 years. So I had my
Okay.
residency a year before I moved.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that, man, I want to dive into that about how you achieve that. So let's start off, Aisha, by you sharing a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and how you landed in Panama.
Okay. How much time do we have? No, I'm kidding. So I'm originally from New York City, born and raised, went to high school in Pennsylvania, college in DC, and then I moved to Houston and then moved to Panama. I have a unique background. I am of Panamanian descent. My grandmother was from Cologne, Panama.
Oh, wow.
Grandfather was from Jamaica, and then my dad was from Senegal.
Wow.
Great grandmother from Costa Rica. So I'm this hodgepodge of various cultures,
Yeah.
uh, which kind of make who I am today and my desire to just travel and see the world.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what part of New York are you from?
I'm from Manhattan, money-making Manhattan.
So you were born in Manhattan.
Yes,
What
yep,
part of Manhattan?
the Lower East Side.
The Lower East Side. That's,
Well, kind of close to the what is it? My brain's going, it's a brain freeze. Like between 14th Street and 20th Street, there's a
yeah,
little
yeah.
nook. Yep.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Veselka?
No, where
No,
is
it's
that?
it's it's a Ukrainian restaurant that's quite
Okay.
quite well known and on the Lower East Side. So it's very good food and it's been around forever. It's still open. It's one of the last few bastions of amazing restaurants open in the Lower East Side. But okay, so you have quite a mix. So how did you, out of all of the places that you have ancestry from, pick Panama? Not sure which country is the best fit for your move abroad? The Ideal Destination Finder takes the guesswork out of the process. It's a customized 22-question assessment that reveals your top 3 destinations based on your lifestyle, priorities, and budget. Instead of spending months researching and second guessing, you'll get a clear, personalized shortlist to guide your next step abroad. and it could save you thousands by avoiding the wrong move. You can get started now at adventurefreaks.com. Just scroll down a little bit and you'll see the ideal destination finder on the left. Just click it and start the assessment. I also put the link in the description, or you can click the QR code above. Now let's get back to the video.
Okay, so it's kind of a funny story. It was during COVID where I was like, I'm ready to leave. I had always wanted to live in another country, and I let my career take over my life. And I kind of like put that dream, I kept putting that dream aside, kept putting it aside. So during COVID, I was like, why am I doing this to myself? It's time to live my life. I'm tired of working for my job.
Mm-hmm.
And I started looking at places of my heritage. I was like, who will take me now just based off of my heritage? And none of them, because I wasn't a citizen. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay. I wasn't quite ready for Jamaica. I was living in Houston during the time. And I was like, I want to be below the hurricane belt. I don't want to see, hear, prep for another hurricane if I can avoid it. So I took
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica off of the plate. I had a bunch of friends that lived in the Bahamas. And I was like, I loved visiting there, but from the lens of living there, you have to look at it differently. And I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't, I can do that. And Senegal slapped my hand. I'm not fluent in French. My
Okay.
parents spoke to me in French when I was little, and then they stopped. I don't know why. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready to deal with French. So I was like, let me look at Panama again. I'd been there twice, always loved it, felt at home. And at the time, they had a friend, they still have it, but the requirements have changed, a friendly nations visa.
Yes.
And so I inquired about that. And at that time, you had to put $5,000 into a bank account, open up, you had to create a corporation, and that was pretty much it. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to Panama. So I came
Mm.
for a relocation tour around the country. And at the end of it, I was like, yeah, I can see myself living here.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So you went the friendly nations visa route, and
Before they changed it, the
okay, so
amount.
they did change it.
Yeah, so when I got it, it was $5,000. Now you have to purchase property for $200,000.
Oh, that
And they
that's a bi-
changed it. It's a huge difference.
that's a big change. So you got in at the right time.
3 months before they changed it.
And there was no income requirement when you got in. You just had to literally put 5,000 in a bank.
And
You
open
get
up.
to keep and open up some kind of a business.
Yep. And you get to keep that money.
Wow.
It was very easy. It
Yeah.
was very
Okay.
easy.
All right. So the one thing that really struck me with your YouTube channel is that you have a disability and you
Yes.
talk about that in some of your videos.
Mhm.
And so that's even more of a challenge for people that are watching my podcast, and they're like going, "Yeah, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I have enough money. I don't know if I have the courage." It takes a lot of courage to take that leap and just to go do it. And so share with us a little bit about your experience, with your disability, and if that was impactful in your decision to move abroad, and did you find it inhibiting at all for the viewers, especially some people that are disabled that would love to live overseas?
Okay, yeah, sure. So I have cerebral palsy, and you really can't tell unless you see me walk. So it
Okay.
affects primarily my legs.
Okay.
Uh, and although I live here, Panama is not disability friendly.
Okay.
Like, like to be clear, a lot of these countries are not going to have your ADA standards.
Hmm.
Like the ramps here, you're like, oh, they have a ramp. Yeah, it's not for a wheelchair, even though it's marked for a wheelchair. It might be for a delivery, or
Yeah.
this might be too high for you. Or they might have, like my building, it has stairs to get in. There isn't a ramp to get into my building.
Okay.
So it depends on your level of disability and how comfortable you are navigating with it. I think most people who have some sort of ailment tend to always figure it out, right? Life was
Hmm.
not made for us, so we navigate it figuring it out. So there are
Yeah.
a bunch of us here who are figuring it out. I see people in walkers, canes, wheelchairs, people in their 80s, their 90s.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just as long as you have a support system and you come here knowing it is not friendly.
Yeah.
Sidewalks might be crumbling. They might have different levels to step up. Like a step could be this big. I was like, whose leg is that flexible? Like it doesn't make sense to me, but it's here, right?
Yeah.
So it's I do videos showing apartments. I'm like, well, you can get into the front door in your bedrooms if you're in a wheelchair, but you might not be able to get into your closet or the bathroom,
Or the
right? The
bath.
doors
Yeah.
might not be the same size. So as long as you come here, one, aware of that, and two, find a place that fits your needs, right? There might be
Hmm.
some neighborhoods here that are more walkable than others,
Right.
right? So it's kind of you have to scout for your level of comfort. And also not just if you're disabled, as you're aging, right?
Yeah.
It's we need to think about that as well. If you get injured or if you're aging, how do you navigate living in these types of countries?
Yeah. And it sounds like you've found a way to navigate it pretty well.
Yeah, even like their boats, if I like go to another part of the country and it goes to an island, I have to get on to a local boat. There may not be a ramp or stairs or a ladder to get on. So I kind of go butt first, swing my legs over because I'm not flexible enough or trust my balance to kind of step in how somebody else would.
Yeah.
But everyone here is so helpful. They'll help me before I even realize I need help.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I love. I love Panama.
Yeah.
The people are incredibly warm, welcoming, helpful. Um, Aisha, for the viewers that want to tune into some of the videos that you made about how you navigate the system, where can they find you? What is the YouTube channel?
Thank you for that. It is called a broad ability.
Okay.
And you can just kind of search. Most of my real estate videos, I will have some aspect of how accessible the building is. I believe I have one video entirely on disability in Panama,
Yes.
and I'm going to be interviewing someone who uses a cane and a scooter. So
Okay.
we're going to sit down together and discuss what it's like for her to navigate that because I can only speak from my perspective.
Sure.
I don't use any aids, so I want to incorporate some people that do to give a different voice.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Great. So a broad ability, all you have to do is search on YouTube. Just go into the search and type in a broad ability, and we're going to put the link in the description below so that you can find Aisha's YouTube channel. And definitely subscribe. It's some terrific stuff. All right. So Aisha, um, other than the visa that you obtained that changed, most of my viewers won't be able to afford making that type of an investment for that visa. So what other visas are available? Most of the demographic that watches these are retirees or people that are retiring early. Um, so what can they obtain in Panama?
No, that's perfect. And it's the retiree, nice segue. It's a retiree pensionado visa, and it's
Hmm.
literally the pension visa. And for one person, it requires you being able to prove that you're receiving $1,000 a month for the rest of your life for some sort of pension. It can be Social Security, it can be disability, it could be a veteran benefit. As long as it's at least $1,000 a month, you most likely will be granted this visa. I think if you have a dependent, it might be $1,200. I
Yeah.
would have to get up,
Yeah.
but $1,000 a month. And this, what I'm going to share also applies to people who are disabled because I didn't know this part until 2 years of me living here. But you get all of these discounts with the pension visa, which is what makes it so popular. I
Yes.
was jealous. So you get this card, so they get 20% off airfare,
Hmm.
get percentage off doctor's visits, medication, restaurants, medical supplies, hotels, like on Mondays and Wednesdays, it might be. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. You get
Yeah.
discounts on public transportation. So besides having a relatively easy entry into the country, they make it easier for you to stay here, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And if you're disabled, and you can prove to their level of disability, you can get the same discounts as those who have the pension visa. So
Okay.
now I have a card and I
Hmm.
take it to my friends who are on the pension visa now and I'd be like, I want the discount too. And I used it for my last couple of trips and I got the 20% off my airfare.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
which
a
is huge. It's a great savings. And I
game
don't think
changer.
there's no other country that does this. Panama is so great to retirees that move there because you get all these significant discounts. It's wild.
And it's not, so the government doesn't pay for it. Kind of feel bad sometimes. Like I don't always ask for it. It's actually the entity that absorbs that fee. So if
Okay.
I go to a restaurant and I pull it out, I believe the restaurant has to supplement that discount. It's not the government.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's really great information too, because you can think about making those choices when you're purchasing, items from specific places.
Mhm.
Some places may need more support and help than others.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, as far as like now, so you have the your visa, you have permanent residency. How long does it take before you can obtain a passport and become a citizen? Do you know? Have
Yes,
you
that's a
looked into
loaded,
that?
I absolutely have. That's a loaded question.
Okay.
So it takes it, I can tell you, it takes 5 years of you living here permanently,
Okay.
at least I think 180 days a year,
Yeah.
be able to apply. So you can apply after the 5 years of permanent residency. You have to take the citizenship exam in Spanish, so you have to
Yes.
be somewhat fluent. And then after you pay the fees, I haven't looked up the fees, but after you pay the fees, the president of Panama has to sign off on it.
Okay.
It's not immigration. So previous presidents might have had a stack of applications on their desk and it just sat there
Hmm.
for years.
Yeah.
So it depends on the president on how long it'll take after you go through everything else. Do you see why I can't fully answer that question? Like
Yeah, no, but that's a great
5 years to
answer.
apply. Yeah, 5 years
See,
to apply and then wait.
yeah. Yeah, and then once you submit your application to the president, you could say, I do all of this wonderful footage of this beautiful country of Panama, and then they're going to put you right on the top of the
I'm gonna be
list.
like, it's in my blood. My grandmother was from here. I have her
Of
birth
course.
record. I was
Eh,
like, yeah, can I be put to the top?
That's right.
Possible?
And then you become a dual citizen. Then you have the two passports, which gives you even more access.
So Panama makes you renounce.
Yeah, there's a lot of countries that say that, but a lot of them, and all you got to
Don't.
do is just say, yeah, I'll renounce, but then
Yeah,
people don't,
don't.
and
Yep.
they don't really check.
They don't. I don't know anyone who's been checked.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I
So,
have dual citizenship in Jamaica,
hmm.
through my grandfather. And I was like, well, I don't want to give up the US or Jamaican citizenship.
Right.
So hopefully they'll change that. But yeah, they haven't checked.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the countries are saying that, but they don't check, and I don't think it really makes that much sense. But because if they said, okay, we're going to check, and if you didn't, people are going to say, well, then I'll just live here as a resident, as a permanent resident. I don't need this citizenship because I'm going to keep it from the U.S. where I was born. And that's kind of what people, I think, most people would do. There are people that do revoke citizenship from the US because we're the only country that continues to tax people when they live abroad.
It's annoying.
It is annoying. And, Canada isn't like that. Other countries aren't like that. When you move abroad, you don't have to pay tax in Canada any longer, and you get to keep your citizenship in Canada. But no matter how many years you live abroad, if you're a US citizen, you still have to pay taxes in the US.
Yep.
It's one of those interesting things that the US does. So there are a select few of people that said, I'm just going to revoke my citizenship, and they have. And it blows me away because that takes a lot of courage when you're born in the
Yes.
US to do that.
I'm not that courageous.
No, no, me either. All right. So let's dive into rentals. Everybody who moves down to Panama, they're going to need a rental. For the viewers watching, Panama City is a incredible city.
Sorry, my cat is acting up.
Oh, you got a little friend. Yeah. No, I love bringing pets on the show. So yeah, Panama City describe Panama City and what it's like to because for the viewers who have never been there.
Panama City, I think, surprises people when you're like coming in on the plane, you're like, wait, the skyline. It reminds people of Miami.
Yes.
Uh, See these skyscrapers, they're lined up along the waterfront. But you can have, how can I explain it? It's Panama City can be the like extremes of the have and the have not. Like
Yes.
it can be in your face, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of these like luxurious skyscrapers, a block or two behind some of them, it's completely different.
Yes.
Different. Like you might not feel comfortable walking there at night. Some people
Hmm.
do. Some
Yeah.
people like I wouldn't do this. So to me, it's the extreme of the haves and the have-nots, but you kind of have everything here. You have the public transportation that costs like 30, 20 cents, 30 cents to take the bus or the metro. They have an app for the metro. They have Uber. They have different riding apps in the city, various grocery stores, a bunch of hospitals. You have nightlife. You have the old town, which gives
Hmm.
you the historic colonial architecture. It's just a mix and a vibrant city that I think surprises people.
Yeah. Yeah. And the old town kind of looks like if you've ever been to Havana, Cuba, it looks a lot like that. It's really um, a beautiful, special place. And then you have right across the way, this, like you said, the skyline, it's all these big high rises that looks just like a Miami Beach. It's just spectacular. But what's even more interesting about living in Panama is when you think of Central America, there's nothing more developed. The infrastructure in Panama, especially Panama City, is stellar compared to every other country in South America.
Yes.
You fly into Panama City, you're going to feel right at home. Like there's parts of it that you didn't feel like you left the Miami or parts of the US. And that's what makes it kind of interesting to me.
It's an easy landing spot for people from the US.
Yes.
I mean, they use the US dollar.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
don't have
exactly.
you don't have to calculate the exchange rates. Like it literally, they use the US dollar and they mint their own coins, the
Yeah.
Balboa,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
still 1 to 1 with the US. And the coins look the same.
Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah, it's great. Okay, so rentals. Some of your videos you go around and you explore, but you explore some of these nice high-rise apartments. I mean, these are spectacular places. I'm a guy who likes to live with the locals. I like to live in a Panamanian home that is not a high rise. That's just kind of, among the locals is the way I prefer to live myself. What can give us an idea of the range of what rentals are going for in Panama City today?
I mean, to be honest, you can find stuff for like four, five, $600 all the way up to thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. It depends on your comfort level and what creature comforts you want,
Okay.
right? If you look at a place that might be under $800,
Hmm.
you're not going to have the pool. You may not have a washer and dryer in your unit. It's just different, right? A lot of us are coming here to pay for certain luxuries. Other people are
Hmm.
coming here just to blend in
Hmm.
and live with I don't want to say a local, like the average salary person here.
Yeah.
So you can find that range here easily,
Okay.
easily.
So
Um,
if you're starting out at 400 to 600, what do those look like? What kind of an apartment would you get at 500 bucks a month?
There, so I don't think I would want to live in one, but you might have like a smaller kitchen, small bedroom, bathroom, and maybe a little living area. It might be a 3 or 4 story building.
Okay.
Um, I don't even know if you'd have an elevator.
Gotcha.
Um, it kind of depends building to building.
Yeah. And
And
how do you
how do
find
you
how do you find it? How do you find a place like that?
So there are various websites, like Encuentra24 for Panama, it's Encuentra24.com. You can put in that you want to rent. You'll have to ask translate it to English, but you put in the rental range that you want. You can put in Panama City, and then it'll just show you a list, and you can start to see what the options are. Now,
Okay.
some of the postings there might be old. They might mix and match photos, but it gives you a general idea.
Okay. All right. And then you said for the people who want to come and live comfortably, a comfortable styled apartment, very similar to what you'd get in the US. What are you going to pay for something like that? It looks like you live in something like that.
So it's kind of funny. I couldn't get this in the US. And I'm gonna flip the script a bit. I'll be honest, I pay 1,200 a month and I
Okay.
have unobstructed water views of Panama Bay. It is my
Wow.
window in the bay. I can't get that in the US for $1,200, right? There's
Right.
a doorman, there's a pool, there's a jacuzzi, and there's a gym here.
Wow. Okay.
When people are like, to live like you would in the US, I'm living better than I would in the US for less, right? So
Yes.
that's one of the reasons why so many people are coming here because you can live this luxurious lifestyle without breaking the bank,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So easily find this for 1,000, 11, 12, 13, 1,400. And what's posted for the listing, you can negotiate because you're renting directly from the owners here. So it's not like the US where you might have an apartment building that's managed by one company. No, every unit in here is like a condo or co-op if you're from New York, and you're renting directly from the owner. So try to negotiate. You never know. I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Now, when you rented that place, was it furnished or did you have to furnish it?
It was furnished, but there
Okay.
were some things I added. Like it came with the bed, two nightstands, a couch, coffee table, and a dining table. So
Okay.
I added a desk, a dresser. I brought my hammock and like another like table.
Okay. And does it include any amenities like Wi-Fi or electric
No,
or water
no.
or no?
So usually the water, if you have gas, it might be covered by the maintenance fee that the owner pays. So I've never seen a water bill. Some other
Okay.
buildings, they might have to pay water, but since I've lived here, I haven't seen a water bill. My electric bill, it can vary, and it gets tricky. So you get the discount if you have that disability card or the Google
Yes.
Auto account, and a certain percentage up to 600 watts. I don't remember what it was, but my last electric bill might have been $60 a month
Okay.
including discount. Now it will also depend on the area you live in. Your electrical rates, you will be charged more if you're in a higher class area. I don't want to say higher class, but a more expensive area.
Uh-huh.
If you have energy efficient appliances in your apartment
Mm-hmm.
and if it's wired correctly.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
what I pay for electricity might vary from the person right next door. And
Mm-hmm.
it could be because the AC unit is old and mine is new,
Right.
right?
Right. Okay. And are you living in a high rise?
Yes, I always have here. This is the lowest I've lived. I'm on floor 15. My first
15.
my first building was 44, and then the second one was 43. I was on the 43rd floor.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
moved around a little bit.
I moved around each time learning something new and each time saving money. So I started
Gotcha.
off like I'm treating myself. It was almost like I was living in a hotel.
Yeah.
It was so nice, but I knew I was only going to live there for a year.
Yeah.
And after the year, I moved into a building where a lot of my friends lived, and we called ourselves the Golden Girls. And I saved money. And then I was like, okay. It was a bit too noisy for me, so I moved somewhere else and I was able to save more money. So I feel like each move, I'm intentionally picking a place where I can save more money.
Yeah, that's very smart. That's a very smart approach. Um, so you're not old enough to retire. So people are going, what does she do to make how does she survive? Do you have some kind of a gig? How do you survive living in Panama?
Okay, no, that's a great question. A lot of people do ask that. So I don't care. I just turned 50 in August.
Okay.
And my mom, when she retired, she used to work for New York State. She gave me a death benefit that would give me half of her pension for the rest of my life.
Ooh.
So, and she always told me about it. She always made sure I knew where the paperwork was.
Yeah.
So she passed in 2021.
Okay.
And I had already had my permanent residency here. So I was kind
Okay.
of waiting. I know that sounds morbid, but I was just waiting for her to pass
Yeah.
before. And I also wanted to have my residency in place.
Yeah.
It wasn't an emotional decision after her death. So part of my
Mhm.
lifestyle here is funded by half of her pension.
I
So
see.
that'll cover my rent, my personal trainer, my like electricity and cell phones. The
Wow.
other part, which I consider more lifestyle, um, I have to supplement. So I had to start looking at my money differently. Instead of saving towards retirement, I was now looking at my savings and accessing what I could earlier in
Yes.
pocket, which is weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like you're like,
Yeah.
he's going down. But so like the first year I sold my car in the US and that helped me sustain my lifestyle. Second year, I had a consulting gig. I'm an engineer by trade. So I had a consulting gig with a nonprofit in New Jersey that turned into like 3 years.
Okay.
So it helped to supplement. I'm hoping to build up the YouTube and um, like branch out from YouTube to
Sure.
help supplement some other income. And then
Yes.
also me moving to save money has
Hmm.
also helped. So it's kind of a hodgepodge
Yeah.
of various ways to obtain income until I can access some of my retirement money. Like I'll get my own pension at 62,
Right.
whatever there is for Social Security, and then like my 401k when I'm 59 and a half.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that. That's what a terrific gift from your mother to pass
Huge.
that on to you because that you don't hear that very often. So that's just awesome to hear that kind of stuff. That's pure love right there, you know.
Yes.
It's just absolute pure love. All right, so we got an idea about the rentals. How about real estate? I mean, if say have you thought about buying there? You've been there for a few years now. Have you thought about like, okay, I'm throwing away $1,200 a month. Maybe it's time for me to invest in one of these properties.
So I've thought about it every now and then. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't see it as wasting money. Like someone from Manhattan, we're used to renting, right? Like
Yes.
where you find people from Manhattan that own.
Right.
So we're used to renting. And I like for this part of my life, I like the flexibility of being able to just move around.
Okay.
Like if I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I might want to go live in Jamaica for a year, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Do I want the responsibility here? Do I want to rent it out? Do I want to find a property manager? Do I want to deal with the repairs? At this point in my life, I don't want to deal with the responsibility of owning.
Right.
I had a horrible experience with investment properties in the past, and I'm just like, eh. I really
Okay.
want to get the lay of the land of Panama, the different neighborhoods in the dry season, the rainy season, holiday season. What is the traffic like? What is the trash pickup like? I want to figure that out and really find a place that I would want to buy in. One thing people don't realize about Panama is if you're financing, you have to pay off the loan by age 70. So
Oh,
it's not like I'm
interesting.
getting a 30-year loan. I'm 50, so it would be a
Yeah.
20, right? So I would have to pay that off during that amount of time. And they have a saying right now, it's easy to buy, it's hard to sell here. And I'm not sure
Yes.
what.
Yeah.
But there's a lot you can purchase and people are buying. They're buying to get access to that visa, one of the visa
Yeah.
options.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And it's real estate isn't the same as it is in the US. If you
Yeah.
purchase overseas, there's a lot of times you might be stuck with a property for a very long time, sometimes in certain countries forever. So it's a
Mhm.
very different proposition to make when you're purchasing real estate. You got to be savvy. You got to work with really good real estate people to help you understand where you can resell if you ever need to.
Yep.
It's a little tricky. Okay, great info. Um, as far as
Oh,
yeah,
can I quickly just pick?
yeah,
So I had a friend here who was looking around at real estate, and one of the areas she was looking at was Costa del Este, and it's a planned city right outside of Panama City. Like you can see each other, and it's another area that has high rises, water views. Their utilities are underground, but it's very, very expensive.
hmm,
And one of the reasons it's expensive is because a lot of the international companies have their offices there and they
okay.
will pay for their employees' rent.
Ah, gotcha.
People will buy there, hike up the rent, like a Procter and Gamble will pay whatever for their executive team to live there.
Yeah,
And that area might have a higher resale value because of its location.
yeah, yeah. That
So
makes
you just have
sense.
to pick the right location.
Yeah. Of all of the areas in Panama, where Panama City is become a really hot destination for expats moving to Panama, and it has driven prices up. So, are there any communities, any towns that you're aware of that are developing where you can still find rentals really affordable and it's a really cool place to live? Anything because I spent a lot of time even in Bocas del Toro, but I don't see a lot of people living there. People go out there and they hang out there, but a lot of people don't want to live on the islands. Um,
I love Bocas.
yeah, it's
I love
gorgeous
to
out.
visit. Yeah, I love to visit. But yeah, no, I think so. I had a couple friends that actually lived in Bocas and they liked it because it was remote,
Hmm.
because they were kind of left alone. They could create their own life. It was like there are certain areas in Panama where people will go because they want to be secluded.
Yeah.
And even though Boca has the Caribbean island vibe, you're off in the water somewhere. Well, the island part, they have a mainland Bocas del Toro too. But um, where's the hospital, right? You have
Right.
to fly in for if there's an emergency, and I think that scares a lot of new expats.
Hmm.
The lore of some of these major cities or towns is they have the clinics and they have the hospitals, but if you're further out, you have to be okay with, well, if I cut my finger, I might lose it because I may not get to a place in time. And some
Yes.
people are okay with that risk. That's an extreme example, but it's the
Hmm.
thought process. Am I moving to a place where I can access healthcare quickly?
Hmm. Okay.
And I think that's one of the reasons a lot of expats are not choosing Bocas del Toro.
Okay. Are there any areas you can think of that they are choosing?
People will go like an hour, hour and a half outside of Panama City, like Coronado, Gorgona, San Carlos. El Valle gives you the Boquete vibe, but it's just
Okay.
closer to Panama City. It's a mountain town. It's not as humid or hot.
Hmm.
It's very green. You have more of a local feel. That's
Okay.
not city.
Do you know what rentals are going for in those areas?
I don't. They're going to be cheaper than the city.
Yeah.
But I don't know offhand. I would have to look that up.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that. Okay. Groceries. Groceries are expensive everywhere in the world now. What do you pay approximately per month for groceries?
Too much.
Too much.
Like,
Oh man.
I would have to total that up, or I'd have to quickly look. My problem is I don't like to cook. So
Oh,
I will spend more on food or groceries. I even have a personal chef.
okay.
So I don't want to call him a personal chef. He sends out a menu. We pick what we want. I might order 3 meals a week and it might last me an entire week.
I see.
Uh, like you're gonna pay if you like your creature comforts, are you gonna pay $12 for a big thing of Bounty, or are you gonna try the local paper product for $5, right? It
Hmm.
depends on what you're willing to give up.
Hmm.
So you can spend $400 a month on groceries.
For a
That's
single
my,
person?
my cat, right? Like I'm buying cat products and included in that. Because I'm not cooking, I might be purchasing more
Okay.
meals.
So you're
I would
so
maybe
you're
three to
spending
four,
about 400.
probably 300 to 400. Yeah,
Okay. Can somebody as a person without animals, do you think get by on 250, 300?
if they'd like to cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I like to go out to eat,
Okay.
right? Um, I can go to a local eatery that's called a fonda, and it's like a mom and pop place. They have different stalls lined up, and you just point to what you want. You can get pork chops, baked chicken, ropo viejo, rice and peas, your salad, a pasta, avocado, a big plate for 450 or $5. And that will last me 2 to 3 meals.
Wow. So you can still
So,
find that stuff in lunches
oh,
for
oh,
450, $5
absolutely.
all over Panama.
Yeah, all over. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's like a block and a half away from me, 2 blocks maybe.
Do you,
And
do
then
you,
across the street, there's a man that sells fruit. So he'll cut up the fruit right there. So you can buy the fruit from him, and it'll be more than purchasing it in the grocery store. People
okay.
will go to the fruit, like the fruit market or the meat market, as opposed to going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
I would pay more because I don't like shopping. So
Hmm.
I don't mind going to a grocery store and paying more because I don't want to expend any more energy to have to go to different stores to get everything that I want.
Hmm.
Be cheaper, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm lazy.
Yeah, yeah. Do you how much do you think you spend per month if you budget on eating out?
Probably 100, 200.
100 to 200 a month?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are we? We're already at $2,000 for me living here? Are you?
You know, I add this up. I add this up when I start editing because I just list I go through, edit, and then I calculate everything and then I put all the basic costs that you share at the end. Okay, I forgot to ask you about cell and Wi-Fi. How much do you pay for cell and Wi-Fi there?
My cell phone is $25 a month unlimited.
Okay.
Wi-Fi is 47 a month.
Wow, that's expensive.
Is it Wi-Fi and something else?
Do you got all
I don't
the
know.
Netflix channels and everything?
That's different. That's streaming. So
Okay.
yeah, I do. So you have to add in the streaming. This adds up. People are like, Panama's so cheap. Not until you start adding every little thing up,
Yeah.
right? You can live cheaper in
Yeah.
Panama,
Yeah, yeah.
right? But how do you want to live? That's the question people have to ask themselves. How do you really want to live? And if you're okay letting go of some of those things, absolutely. You
Yeah.
can live on a lot less than here. I'm not ready to do that yet.
Yeah. Okay. Transportation, getting around. You mentioned metro. When I was there last in Panama City, they didn't have a metro.
I didn't.
And I'm like, and I always said this town would just be explode if it ever had a metro. And now it has a metro. So, and you mentioned something about you can get a plan or a monthly plan or something. I don't know if I heard you correctly,
No,
but
no, no, no. Yeah, no, it's not a plan. They have what do they have? I mean, you could just like get a card and you just fill it up.
okay.
But you can get the same discounts that you would for being on the pension visa. You can
Yes.
apply that to the metro as well. So it could be like 20 or 30 cents to take the bus or the metro. And they're expanding how far out the metro goes. So it goes to the airport. So here's a great example. I could take the metro from the airport to the city and then get to my apartment, but I'd rather take an Uber or a private driver. So
Yes.
I have private drivers and they charge around $15 an hour.
Okay.
Might hire a driver to take me around to go grocery shopping, pick up stuff for my cat, go here, go there, do it all at once, and then I'm home and I'm done for the week.
Yeah. And it's $15 an hour to hire
Mhm.
those guys. Okay.
Usually depends.
How much would
It-
you do you think you pay per month in transportation getting around?
I would say under 100.
Okay. And it sounds like other people who want to rely on the metro and the buses can probably do easy 20, $30 a month.
Yeah. There's someone here who teaches us how to ride the metro. What card does what, shows you the app, takes us on the bus, on the train. And I think one of her friends might be living in the city on 1,200 a month,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
they're taking the metro. They might not be living where I'm living.
Right.
So they're able to live on what my rent is, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's doable.
It
It's
is
just
doable. Yeah.
it's doable. It's just how you want to live.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Aisha, now we're at the entertainment fun. What do you do for fun in Panama City?
I'm so boring. I'm actually a homebody. But there's a lot to do. I just forced myself to go to a bunch of events. So there's something going on every night. You can find jazz, live music. Like we just had Independence. So there were a lot of parades, a lot of parties. Um, they have what did I just do? So I just did a series of expat events. So I went to one that was held by the Americans who live in Panama, and they had a night where we were learning about kosher food and how they prepare it, and we ate at a kosher restaurant. Another one, it was like old school Sundays, and they rent out this place and they serve soul food catfish, shrimp and grits. So there are
Mm.
different things you can do all over where
Yeah,
people like never bored. People do Zumba. Um, and if you don't see it, people create it.
yeah.
I like to travel, so I'll do cultural events, I'll do food tours, I might do a walking tour. If there's a photography tour, I might want to do that.
Okay.
I'll travel throughout the country. But other than that, I'm pretty much like I'm a homebody. I always have been.
Mm, okay. So a
There's a
lot of
lot.
people, do you ever explore any of the islands? Now you mentioned you go to Bocas del Toro. So to Tobaga, to
Boga.
Toboga.
Yes.
Yeah, we spent a couple days out on Toboga and really enjoyed it. And I think it's like only an hour ride, ferry ride.
It's under an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. My fun is going to be different than some other people's fun.
Mm.
I spent the night with the Embera indigenous tribe in the Darien jungle.
Ooh.
Right, right. So like, and I haven't put that was almost it was a year ago. I still have to make that video, but like, so I will do things like that. I went to the San Blas Islands on the Caribbean side, which is closer to
Yes.
Costa Rica. Beautiful, beautiful waters. They're governed by the Guna Yala
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll go to Cologne. They have various islands on the Caribbean side in Cologne. So I will go to different islands within Panama. Tobago
Mm-hmm.
is another one, it's the closest one to the city. The Pearl Islands, I think Survivor did a show on the Pearl Islands
Mm-hmm.
here in Panama. So there's a lot to do. People go to Boquete, they have a flower show, a jazz festival.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's just so much to explore in Panama. I don't think you can get bored if you like adventure.
Yeah. 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 Well, that's great information. Do you ever step out of Panama and go to some of the bordering countries or
I
uh,
feel I feel so like ashamed right now. I was like, I'm gonna move to Panama. It's like go all over South America. I went to Colombia once, and
okay.
I'm like, it's right there.
Right.
It's right there. I have traveled. I just got back from a 5 country trip in Africa and the Middle East. I went to Jamaica. I went to Egypt, Tanzania, Kenya, Jordan, and the United Arab Emirates in August.
Wow.
And I don't know why I haven't traveled that much on this part of the world. I think it's because it's right here. I
Hmm.
did this in New York, right? I never went to the Empire State Building. I didn't go to the Statue of
Yeah.
Liberty. It's right
Yeah.
there. Right, right. I think that's
Yes.
what happened. Like,
It is. I just had a conversation with somebody the other day. It's just like now I have a 15-year-old son. We go back to New York all the time. And it's interesting, I lived there for 9 years and I never did. Every time I take my son, he wants to do all the tourist things. And it's so much fun because now I'm seeing New York City in a different light, in a completely different light than what I did living there because I never did those things. I
yep,
just never did. I never went
yep.
to the Empire State Building. I mean, I worked right by it, I mean, I walked past it every day.
Exactly.
I didn't
Every day
even,
walk by it.
and like so to go and hang out with my friends and I take my son, he wants to do all these really awesome things and I'm like, oh, that's what the tourists do. And I go, okay, let's do it. And then I love it. I'm
It's
like, oh, so
great.
yeah, so it's easy to kind of take things for granted when you're there. And that's kind of what does happen a lot of times. Excuse me. Um, all right, the last thing, Aisha, that we talk about is healthcare. Everybody wants to know what the healthcare is like in Panama. And for any retiree or person considering a move to Panama, how would they access it? And what would they have to pay per month to access some kind of comprehensive healthcare?
Okay. So I don't have health insurance.
Oh,
I know. I was like, ooh. A lot of us do not have health insurance. And I'm not saying this is smart. I'm
mhm.
just being honest.
Okay.
Because the healthcare system here is so much more affordable than what we'd pay in the US, it's kind of like, well, do I want to pay a trillion amount every month because I have cerebral palsy, they think I'm like more expensive than someone else when I actually
Uh,
might be healthier. So one
yes.
is for me to find someone that will insure me.
Hmm.
So I can go to my doctor at a Johns Hopkins affiliated hospital here and pay $60 for a visit. How much would that cost? My copay was might have been $60.
Sure.
So, and if I'm not sick or if I don't have any pre-existing conditions, how often am I really going to pay to see my doctor?
Right.
They have different hospitals here that have programs targeting expats where it's like a membership and you get, it's not health insurance, but it's a membership where you get like all these labs for free under the membership. You get so many doctor's visits or a discount on certain doctor visits. So if you have certain ailments, that might benefit you, right?
Hmm.
Because it's cheaper than paying $60 each time.
Sure.
Um, there are some hospitals here that are now partnering with, oh God, is it Medicare?
Okay.
They might accept something and fill out paperwork and then you can get reimbursed. They have veteran affiliated entities here that will
That's,
help fill out that paperwork.
hmm.
I can't answer how much they would pay a month.
Yeah.
Some will just pay for like emergency insurance.
Hmm.
Might be a couple hundred a month. Some people will pay for um ambulance services and they'll pay a certain amount a month. So it kind of depends on your individual need.
Yeah. So there isn't a public healthcare system there.
They have a public healthcare system here that a lot of people will access. Um, I think because of, for me, I don't want to wait, right?
Hmm.
You might have to wait a bit longer if you're accessing the public healthcare. You might
Okay.
have to pay like a la carte at the public healthcare facility, but
Hmm.
it's there. And a lot of the same doctors that might work at these hospitals also work there. So you're getting
Yeah.
the same level of care.
Hmm.
You might have to wait longer for it.
So if you are living there, you're a resident currently. Now, do you automatically get covered through public health care if something happens? Do you
I
know?
believe I don't know I don't know the answer to that. I don't want to
Okay.
say yes, but I believe you will.
Okay.
I don't yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd be curious to know if that's the case because it is the case in other countries that if you get, let's say you're on a scooter and you get hit, you got to go into the hospital for a week or whatever. It's fully covered. It's all
Yeah,
free. You
no,
know,
no,
you don't think that would happen in Panama.
I do not.
You'd have to pay money, even in the public healthcare
Uh,
system. They'd charge
Something,
you.
something. It may not be a lot,
Okay.
be a
All
little.
right.
I
Okay.
don't know that it's free.
All right. Well, Aisha, that's everything. We covered everything. The one thing I didn't ask you, I forgot to ask you. So we're going all the way back. But just out of curiosity, why did you decide to leave the US?
So I have a different reason. I think because of my heritage, and my mom got me into traveling at such a young age. Like I thought people were born with the passport. I didn't know that you had to apply for it.
Hmm.
I had always just wanted to live in another country.
Mm,
I
gotcha.
never quite felt like I belonged in the US. Although I'm American, I'm proud to be American. I never felt like I belonged. And I don't know if it was growing up there with cerebral palsy. I don't know if like a part of my soul was being called elsewhere,
Hmm.
but I always felt more comfortable in another country than I did in the US.
I can.
So it's like it was just a prolonged dream, and I left when I did, and I'm glad I left when I did because I absolutely would not feel comfortable now in the US. I don't want
Interesting.
to go back. I don't even want to have a flight transfer in the US.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of us are like, we'll go to Turkey to transfer than rather than transfer in Miami.
Yeah. There's um I can relate. I've always I've always felt very comfortable living abroad and spending lengthy times abroad. I've always just enjoyed it and have been lucky to experience a lot of that in my life. I don't know if you ever watch Andrew. He has the channel Nomad Capitalist. He has that slogan, "Go to where they
You're
treat you
treated
best."
best.
And it's
Yep.
such a great slogan because it when you travel abroad and you experience something different, like what you just said, you always felt better living abroad, being abroad, where you're treated differently, you're treated better. I felt the same way. He has this amazing slogan, but it's so true for people that have experienced it. You,
And I forgot to mention this when we were talking about being disabled. I feel more human in Panama with my disability than I did in the US.
wow.
Yeah, it's
What?
made me cry. Like it's like I think I'm not seen as a burden or an annoyance or like a freak. Like I'm not even stared at as much when I walk. Like in the US, people would stare at me all the time, just stare, and I would be like, I might stare
Yeah.
back to catch them. They're not even aware they're doing it, right? It's just like, like I like it's like they're not aware, or I would turn, I know they're staring at me, so like we pass each other, I'll turn back, and sure enough, they're staring at me.
Right.
Sure. I think in the 3 years I've lived here, I've had two people ask me why I walk this way. And it was one guy who was hitting on me, and the
Yeah.
other one was an American tourist, right?
Yeah.
No one else has asked me. I don't feel stared at, and I feel like even though it's not handicap accessible, they recognized your struggles
Hmm.
and they try to help when they can. And to me, that's one of the reasons why they incorporated us into that discount program.
Yeah. 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 Well said. Well, for the viewers watching, is there anything else you can think of, Aisha, that we didn't discuss that could be beneficial for anybody considering moving to Panama? Anything else come to mind that
Fur
that
babies, the cats,
the
like
the pets, getting your pets there?
that. Yes, yes, that was major.
Okay.
Uh, that was a headache.
Mm.
Um, so depending on the size of your pet, it will either have to go on the cabin with you or cargo. And if it has to go cargo, certain times of the year, they're not going to let a pet in the plane because it's too hot.
Okay.
And they only allow one pet per passenger. So I had two cats. So one of
Oh.
my friends got a free trip to Panama so that I could bring the cats together at the same time. There was certain paperwork you had to fill out that your vet had to fill out. It had to be sent to the USDA, and all of that had to be done within a certain amount of time before your flight to Panama.
Hmm.
If it was done after or too far in advance, it wouldn't be accepted. It had to be done a certain amount of time before you arrived in Panama. So a
Hmm.
lot of people get stressed by the date, the paperwork in their hand, and when they leave.
Yeah.
You tell the airline ahead of time that you're bringing the pets, not just to pay for the extra pet, but they also only allow a certain number of pets on each flight.
Hmm.
So these are just things you just have to plan for and be aware of. Plenty
Yeah.
of us have our animals here, but it isn't always easy breezy.
Yeah. No, that's great information. All right. Well, Aisha, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be a part of the podcast, sharing all of this brilliant information. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I was humbled that you even considered me. I appreciate this so much.
Yeah, no, I've been following you for a while now, and it's called Aisha's YouTube channel's Abroad Ability. Definitely check it out. It's fantastic. And Aisha, you have a great rest of the day and look forward to staying in touch with you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.